Everyone, thank you for coming for this presentation, and I hope it will be useful for you. So the title of this talk is how to write your first academic or research paper, assuming you haven't written any paper before. My name is Hussein Atiyah. I work here at the Electrical Engineering Department as Associate Professor. I work here at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals for about 10 years now. My research area is focused on electromagnetics, microwave engineering, and antenna design. I also have my own educational YouTube channel that you can find nice academic videos and some online courses in my YouTube channel. So the outline of my talk today, it will be like soft, friendly talk about how to start off writing your first research paper. What are the contents? What are the skeleton? What are the features of this paper? How to start, how to end, how to write the main body of the paper. And then we will speak about the submission process, the revision process, until you reach to the acceptance, if you are lucky. So let's break the ice. Have you ever written a research paper, journal or conference paper? So raise your hand if you have ever written a research paper. Okay, so was the paper published already? Yes. So we have few, so I think this talk will be useful for those who haven't started yet. So what is the meaning of research paper? When we speak about journal or conference paper, what do you mean by this? A research paper is a type of academic writing that describes, that provides in-depth analysis, evaluation, interpretation of a single topic based on empirical evidence. Empirical evidence here means it should be like experimental, numerical, analytical data rather than or in addition to theory. So you need to have some empirical evidence on your finding, on your conclusion, on your paper overall. So how can we choose a good research point or research direction? How can we start? Let's see this nice small video. We should have some noise here, but the noise is not there. So let's see what does this bird do. Actually, the noise should be the landing of an airplane. So what does this bird do here? It exactly act like a machine, right? So the next, and once we see something like this, the next question that may come in our mind: can we have a machine that does exactly like this? Yes, we did. We have something like this. This exactly will do what the bird do. So this point or this research direction have been already completed. So what is next? Yani having this machine that acts like a bird, what should be next in this research direction? Automation. No, let's think bigger. So this should be or could be the next question. Can human fly? Can we fly like a bird, like the airplane? What's the answer? Yes or no? Huh? Actually, no one knows. It could, in the near future, it could happen. We have seen this, right? Have you seen this in the movie? Does it exist in reality? Huh? Yes or no? No, it doesn't. It's very difficult to have this. To have this man fly like a bird, you need to have very powerful engine, yet light for the man to carry this engine, a reasonable size, reasonable weight to make this happen. So we are not certain if we can have this. This is a research direction. It's to answer an unanswered question. Actually, we have hired you to answer this question, to find an answer, to find a tool, to find a mechanism to allow this to happen. So we have some kind of uncertainty. If you know the answer of this question, this is not a research. If you already know the answer, so it's done. You should have some uncertainty, and you need to research about how to address this uncertainty. Of course, anyone here for mechanical engineering, fluid mechanics? So you can think about this, how to have this powerful engine, yet small size, reasonable weight. So your research overall or research paper should satisfy three major aspects: honesty, Honesty is the first and the most important feature. Without honesty, don't look at anything else. In fact, our research or our work is based on trust. So I am as a supervisor, I trust my students. They give me some results, some data. I can't stay with them 24 hours to monitor them to see what's. I trust them. At any minute, if you break this trust, it's very difficult to gain it back. Yeah, the whole world of research is based on trust. If it gets broken, it's very difficult to get it back. Uh, so one evidence of honesty in your research is to, for example, to cite all relevant reference. So you are working on a certain direction. You need to mention what was the work done. You shouldn't hide any previous work, because hiding critical previous work, it means you are doing something wrong. When you hide key paper or key reference, this means you are somehow playing games or trying to hide the previous work to claim that your work is novel. Also, your research should satisfy novelty. You should provide new technique, new solution. You shouldn't repeat what was already done. Okay? So you should achieve novelty. And the third aspect is usefulness. Your research should be useful, usable. For example, is this a good research? Is it useful? To create a tank to kill a mouse? So expensive solution, sophisticated, difficult, time consuming, it's not reasonable. Even if you give the solution, it's useless. So your research must be honest, new, and useful. Useful in terms of cost, time, hardware implementation, whatever you are consuming in your research. Also, the general contents of your paper, it should contain some statistical data, some data that you build on to produce your outcome or results. The statistical data could be experimental work, could be analytical work, could be numerical work. Yeah, could be numerical simulation, analytical equation, some mathematical model, or it could be experimental work. Also, you need to build on pre-existing research. You should start off by mentioning what was done in this area and what is the new work you are introducing. Also, we should have strict code of citation. This is very important. Again, you have to be honest to refer to all previous key work in this area. So this is like hourglass model of a scientific paper. So the paper should start by the introduction. As you can see, the introduction would be like wide scope. Then you narrow down to go to the main body or the heart of your paper, which should contain the methodology, the methods, the techniques you are using or proposing to solve the problem. Then you will widen the scope again to go for discussion and comments on the results you have got. Are there any surprising data that maybe disagree with the norm or what people know in this area? So you need to address all the concerns in the discussion. Then you widen again for the conclusion and to end your paper. So you start wide, narrow, widen again to discuss and conclude your work. This is simple hourglass. What is inside are these items. So again, we start wide by number one, keep narrowing down until you reach to the heart of your paper, which is the methodology or the techniques you have used. Then you widen the work again, you widen the scope again to reach to the conclusion. So these are the 7 or main items you should have in your paper. We should start by introducing the work, again, the pre-existing work, which will make the way for your new work. Also, you need to mention the knowledge, the gap to be filled. You need to show what are the uncertainty you are addressing, what are the uncertainty you are finding solution for. Item number 3, after you mention the knowledge or the gap, you need to provide some rational hypotheses that would provide solution to this problem. Then you reach to the main point, the center of your paper, the center part, which is the methodologies, the methods, the technique you have used to provide your solution. Then you will mention the results you have got. The results could be something like this. As again, the methods, let's go back to the methods. could be analytical techniques, numerical, simulation, experimental. These are different techniques. Maybe other techniques exist. Then you need to explain the result you have got. The result could be something like this. Discussion, you need to critically discuss and mention the weaknesses and the strength of your result. Then you conclude the work. So this is anatomy of your research paper. Again, you start wide, narrow down, wide again. So let's think which part we should start with when you are writing a paper. Which item should start with? Mm. Actually, start from inside out. When writing a paper, the quickest way is start from inside out. So the first is to start by your methodology, because this is the work you have done. The methodology, the techniques, the solution is your work. So you are the best one to describe it. So start by methodology, then mention your outcome, results, discussion, then go back to the introduction, which will be based, actually the first three items will be based on what you have written after them. يعني the introduction, knowledge gap, rational hypothesis should be based on what you have mentioned in your methodology and results and discussion. Then at the end, number 5 will be your conclusion. This is, I would say, there are other schools you can do something different. But from my experience, it's better to start from inside out. Yes, it could be already there, but you have used it in a certain direction that you need to mention. Even if the method is there, but you have used it in a certain way that you need to describe for the reader to have full picture of your work. Again, you can do something different, but from my experience, this is the easiest way or the quickest way to write the paper. Yes. Yes, you should have done that before doing the paper, before starting the paper. You should have done your literature review, so it is in your mind. Yes, it will be between introduction. The literature review will be in the introduction, and the knowledge gap to be filled. Also, can extend to the rational and the hypothesis. And we need to differentiate between two things here. You could be providing a new method. You could be creating or describing a new technique that no one used before to solve some existing problem. So your focus will be a new method. And you could use existing method, some techniques already known, to produce new application or new device or new system. So either way is okay. Either you introduce new method or use existing method to provide new application, new system, new direction. Yes. That's fine. That's fine. As I said, you could do something different. And there are different schools which part you start with. But what I'm saying is that the central part is the methodology. This is what you have done. This is the item you already know and you already used, so you are better describing it. Then you build the other items based on this methodology. So before writing, so this is what we need to write. Before writing, what should we prepare? It's like cooking some rice or meat. When cooking food, you need to prepare the ingredients, combine the ingredients, chop the vegetable, clean the meat. So you need to prepare some items to start cooking the food or writing the paper. This item, in my perspective, is the visual data. The visual data are the most important data. You are writing some text, providing some visual data. After some time, after getting some experience, you will be able to read a paper just by looking at the figures. If the paper is well written and the figures, the visual data are well prepared, you can easily grasp this idea by looking at the figures provided. You can do this after reading or after writing few journal in the same area. Say after writing 10 papers, you would be expert in this area. And if you have written 10 journals or good conference in a certain area, so you are expert. After this stage, you will be able to just look at the visual data, at the figures, and grasp the idea. And in my opinion, based on my research topic, the visual data are more important or as important as the text you are writing. You need to provide meaningful figures, tables that are self-explanatory, that can help the reader to grasp the idea quickly. The easier for the reader to understand what you are writing, the more citation you will get. Okay, يعني you will read some paper, you will feel you are writing a mystery, a puzzles. The reader keep jumping from one direction to another direction, which will confuse you, and at the end of the day, you will throw the paper away. So the visual data are very important. With my students, I always look at the visual data. Before they write anything, I ask the student to prepare the figures, the tables. I look at them. If they are okay, go and write. Still need to work more on the visual data. Then he need to keep working until we reach to good visual data. Then we can start writing the paper. So this is very important to prepare good visual data. So these are some details about what should we write in the introduction. The introduction is the heart of your paper. Usually people start reading the introduction. If they feel comfortable, they will continue reading. If they feel bored reading mysteries, they will throw the paper away. Even when you submit the paper to a journal, the reviewer judges the paper from the introduction. So you need to put extreme effort in writing your introduction. This is the most important part because it does contain the overview of the problem you are examining, the solution you are providing, offer also justification, why your audience, why the reader should care and read your paper. The most important is to convince a reader to read your paper and build on, so he can cite your work and your work can be fruitful for others. The introduction will provide the pre-existing work, the gap you are filling, and how you will fill this gap. So it's a quick summary or a detailed summary of your paper. So be very careful, serious when writing your introduction. Again, a low quality introduction will cause your paper to be rejected, most likely. Okay, a low quality introduction will bring your paper down. Then through the introduction also, you can mention the problem to be solved. This also part of the introduction. Again, the history, what are the previous solution, what are the existing knowledge, what are the new knowledge you are adding, what are the critical factors impacting this problem, and the possible solution that you are providing in your work. Literature review, again, part of your introduction. You should be honest and cite all previous work or key previous work related to your paper. You need also to be aware of the most recent work that has been done. When you are working on some research direction, try to search for the paper published in the last 2 years. So 2025, 2024, to see the most recent work and focus on high quality journal or high quality conference, because this will provide a good work that can you build on. Again, it's unethical to not cite all key previous work. It's a red flag on your work that you hide any key previous work. The method, this is a hard.
I'm sorry for interjecting like this, but I have a question. In most papers, you can find an abstract section before the introduction. Is that essential, or is it something that you might?
No, it's important. It's important to read the abstract. Usually, you will read the abstract before the introduction. Okay. I will mention this also. So far, I haven't talked about reading. So far, about writing. Then I will explain this soon. So the method is the heart of your paper. You need to state the specific question you are answering, you are examining, describe your research method, provide rational hypotheses, why you choose this specific method, and why it's better than previous work. Why your work add to the existing knowledge? This is the most important. Are you introducing something new, or you are just rephrasing or repeating what was done, trying to do some incremental research? Results and discussion. This comes after describing your method. You need to describe your major finding. You will describe your result based on your visual data, which is usually graphs, figures, tables. Describe the relevance of your finding. Have you been surprised with the data or the result you have got? Is there any surprise? Did you get some results that disagree with the previous knowledge? Then you need to explain this. Actually, you need to somehow show the strength and the weaknesses of your work. whatever good work you are producing, you should pay some price, and you need to measure what is the price you have paid. Okay, it's all about compromising different factors. In antenna design, I'm designing antennas. Whenever we try to increase the gain, then the bandwidth or the range of frequencies get decreased. So you improve something on the price of something else. So you need somehow to compromise between the different design specification. In all research, whatever you need to improve, it will be on the price of something else that you need to address, and you need to figure out how to reduce the degradation of other factors in your design. Okay, this is some type of result that you can produce a visual data. Could be also in the form of tables, or comparing your work with previous work in the form of tables. The conclusion and recommendations is also one of the major part of your paper. You need to be careful to not introduce any new result or any new information in the conclusion. You need to state what, where, or what are the specific questions you have answered, and describe your methods and why your solution matter, why people should care about your solution, and build on your research to produce novel research or to extend your work. So these are some items that show your conclusion is ineffective. These are the flags that could be raised in your conclusion. The conclusion shouldn't be generic, should be specific on what you have done and what you have produced. It shouldn't contain new information. You shouldn't mention any new information in the conclusion. You shouldn't engage or get the reader involved in some idle discussion, unnecessary, irrelevant discussion. You shouldn't apologize instead of addressing the weakness of your research. Again, any research work is incomplete. You always have strengths and weaknesses. In the conclusion, you need to mention both to some extent to show that you are aware of the pros and the cons of your research. Also, you shouldn't be emotional, you should be analytical in your conclusion. Conclusion is a very important part of your research paper. So this advice of my advisor, my PhD advisor, be brief and bright. Be brief in what you say, be brief in what you write. When reading some papers, you might feel that the author are keep saying and saying the same thing, trying to maybe extend the paper or add more text. For example, let's see some example of redundancy. Look at this statement. The design is very good in achieving high gain. Is it a good statement? Is it brief, or we have over texting, over wording here? And can we shrink this sentence? Hmm? The design, just remove all of this, achieve high gain. That's enough. You don't need to write is in good, you don't need to write all of this. So be brief to give better message, to give clear message. Look at the sentence. Is it good? Is it brief enough? Huh? So what should we do? Just remove this. You don't need to write it is clear. You don't need to write this. Look at this. What can we do here? Remove all of this and just write all of those. Same message. Be brief and bright. Whatever you say, whatever you write, it's very important to avoid this overwording. So assuming you are, congratulations, you have written your paper, so you have submitted the paper. What is next? The next is to receive the decision from the journal or conference. The decision could take between 2 weeks to 6 months to receive first decision. Okay? In good journals, they will take longer time, at least 2 to 3 months, up to 6 months. So you receive decision, and based on the decision could be one of three things: rejection, major comments, minor comments. If your work is good, you will receive major comments. If it's really outstanding, you might receive minor comments. Minor comments is rare, especially in good journal. In good journal, it's very difficult to have minor comments. Minor comments means the paper is almost accepted. There are some minor questions you need to answer. It's very difficult to have minor comments as the first decision in good journal. Usually, in average and high journal, you will receive major comments or major revision. In some situation, even if you receive rejection, you could improve your paper and submit it again to the same journal. Some journal allows the author to resubmit the paper after rejection. Some journal, not all of them. It's based on, actually, it will be based on the editorial office, the associate editor, whether to accept your revised paper after rejection or no. So assuming you have received the major or minor comments, the next step is to address the comments of the reviewers, which could take as long as the time you already spent in writing the first version. Yani in good journal, you might need to work, assuming you have worked for 1 year to produce the first version, then major comments, then you might need another 6 months to 1 year to address the comments, especially in good journal. So put this in your mind. Then you will need to review the paper, improve the work based on the comments received, and repeat the cycle again. This cycle from submission to acceptance, as I said, might take between 2 weeks, or in low quality journal or some open access journal, up to 6 months in high quality journal. So be prepared that your paper could take 1 year to get accepted from the submission to the acceptance decision. Put this in your mind and plan ahead for this. So this was about writing. What about reading? If you need to read a paper in a short time, what can you do? Again, after some experience, you don't need to read every word. First, start by reading the abstract and the conclusion, then the core of the paper, methods, results, then at the end, the conclusion, or you should be able to mention what are the strengths and weaknesses of the paper. The one major clue you have understood what you read is to state what are the good points, what are the negative points in this work. Because based on this answer, based on your feedback here, you can start new work to address the weaknesses in a certain work. So you should be able to find out what are the strengths and weaknesses. It is very important. Okay? And again, as I said, with experience, after writing few papers, you would be able to read a paper in half an hour or less. At the beginning, you need to read. It will take time, maybe 1-2 days to understand one paper. If you are a beginner, after some time, this time will be reduced based on your experience and how many papers you have written.
Can we add the last paragraph of introduction in the first step also?
Yes, first read a second.
Read also the last paragraph.
Yes, we can do this. Usually, the last paragraph in the introduction introduce what is new you are producing, or what is new you are presenting in the paper. This is the last paragraph in the introduction, which is important. So we can add it to the abstract and the conclusion. So this small exercise, what should be the answer here? So it's not A? The answer is C. You need to solve a good problem, provide good solution, then write the paper. If you are approaching a certain research saying, I need to write paper in this topic, how would you know you would be able to solve the problem, to be able to write a paper? So you need to provide a good solution, new, unique, useful, then think about writing the paper. Writing the paper will be the last step. Okay, it's not a big deal to write a paper, by the way. The big deal is to provide a good piece of work that people can cite and build on. Okay, you will see number, put quality before number, in my opinion. A small exercise, what are the major features of a paper? What should we have in a good paper or good research work? Honesty, you need to be honest. Novelty, usefulness. These are the three major things: novelty, honesty, you need to be honest, novelty, and usefulness of your work. What are the contents of a paper? These are the 7 items: abstract, introduction, methodology, results, discussion, and the conclusion. And the paper will be based again on some statistical data, pre-existing knowledge, and strict code of citation, or to reference all key previous work. So to conclude my talk, I think it was brief. So when writing a paper or when conducting some research, you need to secure few hours a day of complete focus, of 100% focus. Focus means no phones, no calls, no emails, no distraction at all. Because you will see that the more you think about some research problem or anything in your life, the more you think, the quicker you might reach to the solution. And when you cut off this focus, you need to start over. Okay, so try to secure a few hours a day of complete focus, no distraction, no multitasking. And whenever you have big problem in your life, in your research, you can split it into small pieces. Okay, this is very important when you address a new research topic. Try to divide it into, break it down into small pieces, so you can address each piece, reaching to address the whole problem. Uh,
In 3 to 4 hours, what I'm doing, I'm reading the introduction, abstract, and conclusion.
No, this is generally working on your research. Could be anything of what you have said. Could be reading, writing, providing solution. What I'm saying here is that I need to focus on the word complete focus. Complete focus, no distraction of any means. Okay, this is very important because the more you focus, the longer you focus, the shorter time you would need to provide a solution. Okay, I think all of us suffer from focus because of the social media, the WhatsApp, all this stuff. It keep you in good distraction, and this, in my opinion, will slow down your productivity. The more you do multitasking, the less quality work you will produce, in my opinion. Okay, so these are the reference of my talk. You can take this. This is I will post this talk on YouTube if you need to look at it. I'm also having some other footage about academic advising in general, so you can look at it, and also you can subscribe if you like. Yes. So I'm done. So if you have question, I'm open to any question.
Please advise الشباب to return all the chairs to the right rooms. The chairs they took.
Please take these chairs back to the room you have taken from, the seats. So